Hi everybody, it's James here from Panache Cruises, and what a special guest I've got today, Susana Romero, head of Galapagos for Celebrity Cruises. Well, welcome Susana, how are you this morning?
I'm doing fantastic, and what an amazing title to be head of Galapagos. I love it. Thank you so much.
It sounds like an absolutely fantastic job. It's one of those that if you put a job advert out there, I'm sure there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people would apply for that one. You know, it's a very special role that you've got there. So tell us a little bit more about it, please.
Interesting, James, that you asked that question, because within the company, within Royal Caribbean Group and more specific Celebrity Cruises, everyone is envious of what I do. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been with the company for quite a few years, but specifically with the Galapagos product, 18 years. I've been around since its inception. I'm part of the original crew that started it all. Part of the company that we purchased in Ecuador. I was there for that, for the ships, for the building of our vessels, for the purchasing of our vessels. So I have a very in-depth and interesting point of view when it comes to what we do in the Galapagos Islands. So thank you again for having me.
Yeah, great. And it's great to hear a little bit about, you know, what you've done in the past, but just tell us a little bit about Galapagos. You know, it just conjures so many things in my mind, you know, so many senses, you know, seeing some wonderful wildlife, you know, it just looks and sounds amazing. I've never been privileged to go there. So tell me a little bit more about the place itself.
Well, it's amazing. And let me ask you one question. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when the word Galapagos comes up?
Oh, wildlife.
Okay. And the truth is, Galapagos is all about the wildlife, but it's also about the geography. It's about how it came about. It's about these two tectonic plates that were moving around zillions of years ago. And as they collided, all of these volcanic eruptions happened. And keep in mind, this archipelago has never been attached to a mainland. So this is a very unique place in the world. The wildlife, the geography, the geology, the currents that convert, right? This conversion of currents, when it hits the side of these islands, just a tremendous amount of upwelling that creates the perfect environment for the thriving of life. Not only marine life, but what happens on the island. So it is unique, it is special, and it is incredibly emotional.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it does sound absolutely fantastic. And you only have to look at the brochures or some of the videos that are available on YouTube or indeed our website and Celebrity's website just to get a glimpse of the type of thing that you can see. But again, when people go there, what type of excursions are they doing? Because again, I'm not too sure about, you know, getting off the ship when you're there. You know, what can you do on excursions? How can you get closer to the wildlife and nature in Galapagos?
I know it's kind of tough to visualize how it happens, right? It's a really big archipelago, and hence why it's the best way to visit Galapagos is via a vessel. It allows you to wander, it allows you to navigate. Your vessel is not only your transportation, but it's your hotel and your entertainment. When you get to the island locations that you're allowed to visit, because again, so very highly regulated by the Galapagos National Park, we visit the areas that they allow us to visit. We get there, we have these watercrafts, whether they're Zodiac types or the latest and greatest New Varania tenders that we have, and we move from ship to shore. Our groups are really small, so you're going to be going ashore with about 8 to 10 people and your naturalist. And when you get there, whether you're visiting, let's say, for example, if you're visiting Española Island, and you happen to be there where the albatross is nesting, you're going to be hiking. It's a beautiful hike through an amazing island. And as you're hiking, you're going to encounter blue-footed boobies and lava lizards. And then eventually, as you get into the area where the albatross is, you're going to begin to see them gliding. And then you see them nesting or courting or teaching their young how to fly. And how close do you get to them? Sometimes you need to get out of the way because they happen to be home and this is their home and they're welcoming you to it. Keep in mind, the park makes you be 6 feet away. Sometimes it's really hard to stay 6 feet away because they're right there on your trail. So it is a beautiful combination of being very close to these animals while maintaining that respect that the wildlife requires. Because in this part of the world, the animals, for some unique reason that no one really knows why, they have absolutely no fear of humans. As a result, you get that very unique interaction between the animals, their behavior, why their behavior is so important, not only for today, but for future generations and you.
Yeah. And I mean, it sounds absolutely amazing. You're giving me goosebumps just talking about that and bringing it to life, Susana. So thank you for that. But let's just touch on a subject that you've just mentioned there, sustainability and, you know, the future and conservation, you know. So just talk to me about, you know, the importance of that, and what do you do at Celebrity Cruises to ensure that you are absolutely respecting nature and the future sustainability of the Galapagos?
As you can imagine, this is really a top priority for us. We're privileged to be able to sail in these incredible waters. And what's really important is that the government of Ecuador has made it really, really a number one priority to make sure that every company that works in these amazing waters is not only in compliance, but goes above and beyond. And that's exactly what we do. We are, first of all and foremost, completely integrated into the communities. We do different programs for the communities, from creating sustainable fishery co-ops to working with the agricultural communities to make sure that we are helping them develop and also purchasing the goods that they are growing in this neck of the woods and doing it from a sustainable standpoint. What we offer on board when it comes to provisioning is mostly from the Galapagos Islands or from mainland Ecuador when the provision is not possible from the island. So truly it's a very cyclical, very 360 type of approach. We bring the right customer to the islands, a customer that's truly unique and is interested in sustainability, as you very well asked. And we are also, from our part, being part of the community. We're making sure that from an environmental standpoint, we use special paints to paint the hulls of our ships, allows us to glide through the water, allows us to use less fuel. We have incredible solar panels on some of our vessels that allows us to subsidize the electricity that goes on board. Our recycling system, our low emissions, everything that we do on board is with the environment, number one, environment in mind.
Fantastic. I mean, you know, I know Celebrity have been in the Galapagos for a number of years. I think nearly 20 years, is it now, Susana, since Celebrity first sailed in Galapagos, but very recently, you know, announced a new ship to be sailing in Galapagos, Flora. So tell us a little bit about Celebrity's experience and Celebrity's offering in the Galapagos, including their new ship.
No, it's been an evolution and not a revolution for us, and very fitting for the Galapagos Islands. We started in 2003. You're absolutely right. When we started the first company, and what a company that had one vessel that we very quickly replaced with Celebrity Expedition. At the time, the most revolutionary and the best ship in the Galapagos Islands. We brought a very different mindset to cruising in the islands. One, fully all-inclusive. We were the first and only ones to do fully all-inclusive. We include stays in Quito, Ecuador, as a capital city, a capital that is a World Heritage Site, and that it beckons, it requires at least a one-day visit to get a feel, a taste of what that beautiful capital city is all about. Once in the Galapagos Islands, we continue with the all-inclusive. We continue with a very small group going ashore. So everything that we do it from an all-inclusive and from a customer-centric standpoint, making sure that we're delivering the best experience that we can. Fast forward, we added 2 other vessels, different sizes. We have a 16-guest catamaran, that 100 guest vessel celebrity expedition became 48 passengers. Now it allows us to offer small vessel, mid-size, and then we went ahead and under the watchful eye and the direction of our president and CEO, Lisa Lutoff-Perlo, we developed an incredible vessel that allows us to be closer to the destination than ever before. It is an outward facing type of design, allowing you to be closer to the destination than ever before. No matter where you are, you're going up the stairs, you're looking out the window, there is the island. You're in your bed. All of our beds are positioned outward, right in front of your balcony. Every one of our suites has a balcony. So your destination is with you. All of the materials that we use on board that vessel are unique, are special, and are appropriate to the destination. We didn't build a vessel that looked like you're in Italy or that you are in Scandinavia. This vessel mimics and resembles the textures, the animals, and the colors of the islands, including furniture designers from Ecuador.
It does look absolutely amazing, Flora. It really does, and it looks really fitting to where it's located as well. Perhaps moving on to a typical itinerary, Susana, could you just explain, what a typical itinerary is in the Galapagos from somebody who flies in from the UK? Are there any pre and post stays or tours you would recommend before they get on a ship, and then during the cruise itself, what can people see and do in terms of the itinerary?
Absolutely, and understanding how far you're coming from, right? We have carefully curated the experiences in Ecuador, including Galapagos and an extension into Peru, which we'll talk about too. Merging two of the most amazing destinations in the world into one trip, right? You're going very far, might as well really take advantage of that time. So flights into the UK will get in somewhere about midday. Our packages include the pickup at the airport, bring you to the hotel. That evening, we recommend that people kind of take it easy. There is altitude in Quito, so it's a day to kind of unpack and settle in. The next day, our package already includes the highlights of the city. It's a full day tour that takes you into the old colonial city, again, World Heritage Site, then an amazing lunch in a destination that's befitting to that center that really begins to bring the colors, the textures, and the taste of the city. And then we continue on in the afternoon into middle of the world to get to know that equator, that incredible museum that talks about being in that latitude 0, that being in that longitude, in the place that it's incredible. And then we continue back to the hotel. After that, we have our welcome dinner again at an incredible gourmet restaurant in Ecuador. So all very highly curated. The next day, we have an exclusive flight just for our guests that gets a non-stop from Quito into Baltra. Seamless. We pick up the luggage, we have it inspected, we send it straight to your stateroom and your suites. So very seamless process for all of our guests. We get to Baltra. It's a very short flight. It's under 2 hours. We get to Baltra. Our naturalists are waiting for our guests. We get you onto a little pier, onto a Zodiac craft, and onto our vessel. All of our check-in process happens on board the ship because there's really no piers, no embarkation like you think of a cruise. This is an expedition, albeit very luxurious, but it is an expedition. We bring you into the ship into very small groups, and in a very one-on-one process, we get you onto your suite and straight on to enjoying. In most cases, that same afternoon, there is either an excursion or some type of circumnavigation on board the vessel. And that evening, you have your first briefing. That briefing tells you what's happening the next day, and it gives you every detail about picking what you want to do the next day. Do you want to go hiking? Do you want to go kayaking? Do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go exploring? Do you want to go snorkeling? anything you want to do based on the day's activities, you just sign up for after that briefing. So you can curate your day with, for example, a very active activity in the morning and then doing coastal exploration in the afternoon. It's entirely up to you. All of our naturalists are there, ready to help you make those choices, giving you the details that you need to craft your day in the way that you want to have that day.
It does sound absolutely amazing, a real bucket list opportunity for people to see something truly extraordinary. And what time of year would you recommend people go to Galapagos, Susana?
I'm going to ask that question to you. When do you have time to go?
Is it all year round?
It really is, James. It really is a year-round destination. Now, during our winter, January, February, March, the waters are actually warmer in that part of the world. So if you're truly into being in the water and doing snorkeling every day, then maybe going during what is our winter is better. If you're more like me, where I prefer the cooler, and again, cool is a very elastic word depending on where you are in the world. Yeah. Temperatures in the 70s for you may be summer, right? That's what you're going to get that time of year. I like the longer walk, so I prefer going more in the June, July, August, September time. But again, what's important is, when do you have time? Because Galapagos thrives year-round. So there's always something going on. As Dr. Prager, our science advisor, always said to me, remember, Susana, mating in Galapagos is opportunistic. So there's always something going on. There's either babies being born, or there is mating, or there's courtship. So Galapagos is always thriving.
Brilliant. Well, for it to be a year-round attraction as well, that just opens it up to so many people, doesn't it? And there's really no excuse for people not to give it a go and plan what could be a trip of a lifetime to Galapagos. It does sound absolutely amazing, Susana. And I really appreciate the time you've spent with us today. I know your schedule's exceptionally busy. You've come from Miami, you're in the UK at the moment, but I do really appreciate the time you spent with us today, Susana. Is there anything else that you would like to close with?
I just want to say thank you. And you mentioned bucket list, and the truth is that the bucket list has now become the to-do list. I think we've learned a lot in the past couple of years. It's important to do what we want to do. Those things are from the heart and that make a difference in our soul. And I am a full believer of that. I thank you for inviting me today and for spending time with me and allowing me to talk about my passion, what I think about every day, which is the Galapagos Islands. Thank you very much, James.
Susana, your passion comes across, and I know I'm sold on the Galapagos. I will go there one day. I absolutely promise you that. And I hope we can meet in person at some point soon as well. So thank you once again, Susana. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, James.